been completely blown up. All I know is new jungler versus a team that is looking to break a curse that has gone on for years and years and years. As we head into the final draft of the first game of the day. It's only the first game of the day, Cubby. The fireworks that have already happened. Now we still have Weibo Gaming and IG next. Like, that's also going to be great.
Well, on paper is going to be great. We'll see if it ends up being great. On
The Shy and Xiaoxu are playing. How could it not be good?
That is fun. Rookie versus Xiaoxu in Group Nirvana in the year of 2026. Wow.
Old Man Cup next year, maybe.
Poppy and Shen taken away does end up leading to a Camille ban. So,
Okay.
JDG not going to give that one over to Vampire. We'll say Vampire, really good Bard early on in the year. Curious if that ends up being considered or picked up. Varus locked in. Something that is flexible for some of our top laners that we've had in the LPL. A pick that we have not seen Xiaoxu play up top yet. At least not this split.
No, and it has been nerfed quite a bit, but it is still viable to take up there. It's been something that Gala does have a lot of experience on this year, of course, over his entire career as well. So it's something he'll certainly be able to pilot. And what flavor of aggression will we see on the other side? It is a Nefiri that'll come through for Heng.
Well, that's already a pick that can go into that top Varus. That ends up being the case. Likely not. Still expect this to be in the hands of Gala. But
God, I remember that game.
Sivir taken. Do we have an Alistar for Vampire? As Xiaofang, the Lee Sin and the Viego are his two most played on his match history, so would not be surprised to see the Lee Sin make an emergence in emergence here.
It would be a little difficult into what you're seeing so far. Feels like you try to land a Q on a Nefiri, it's probably going to get blocked by a dog. Try to land a Q onto a Sivir, going to get blocked by a Spell Shield. But this Twisted Fate lock-in, we know it is a HongQ special, but this does mean that you have multiple champions that could go top lane heading into the second half. So LGD do have to respect the fact that top laners might still be on the table for JDG.
Well,
as it's going to be a Jax for Burdol.
Burdol's going to pick a champion that says neither of those champions should go into the top lane. So Jax going to be picked up. And I would like to see them ban to try and protect the Jax a little bit. As no Renekton's off the board. The Gnar matchup's a handshake. And I slightly favor the Gnar side. I think some Jaxes will sign up for it. Jace being taken away. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Cassante ban. That's probably the one matchup that I think would make the most sense. And honestly would be the best piece for JDG to add to this comp if it is going to indeed be that TF mid Varus spot.
Yanni getting taken away here is they don't
really want a Cassante ban.
Make
I think
it very
Bard
easy for Heng to get big.
Yeah, I really want a Cassante ban here. It does mean that we could see an Alistar come in, though, for Vampire, which, of course, really good interactions with Shaoye on the Sivir. Spell Shield, of course. Can only Spell Shield one part of the Alistar combo, so one that I'm curious if they end up looking towards, or honestly, something that they could take away. It's just that Sivir plus Alistar, while it's a nice takeaway, giving up a support counter to that can be rather dire.
Let's see what the move is here. This would be an interesting pickup, and it is going to be locked in. We are getting a Sylas, couple of good value ultimates to take here for Tangyuan, and also means that JDG are going to have to be careful with what they give up.
And it pressures the opponents to not take Alistar, too. So, like, we're going to see something different as... Does it end up being... I mean, we could have Varus, Renata. That seems weird to me. Or is this Varus indeed going to be flexible? And yeah. Oh, they're still going to Alistar.
Wow,
okay.
That's bold.
Oh, no.
Into the Sylas?
Yanni, I'm okay with this. I am.
Okay,
There's a lot of displacement. There's a lot of displacement on JDG. If you end up taking Alistar ult as Sylas, your job as Vampire, it is a one-track job. You hit him out of the fight. You keep him out of the fight. If that's the case, it's honestly fine, and I still think that Alistar brings a lot of value into this game. When you're looking at the Sivir especially the Nefiri. So I respect the fact that they picked this, and I respect the mind games we had going through this draft of like, oh, we know Alistar is going to be considered, so here's a Sylas. Like, you got to think about this. Do you want to deal with it or not? Sylas, though, has so many good ults this game. It got even better in the last phase of draft as he got a Gnar ult and an Alistar ult to pick up. So this has the potential to be a big Sylas game. And, again, space creation for Sivir. I feel like Shaoye is going to have enough space creators to be able to auto-attack later on in these fights. Just Sylas with whatever ult he wants to bring to the table. And then Jax Rakan. Hopefully, they're able to buy time and be a big enough front line where Sivir can do Sivir things later on. This is a game where I feel like Sivir does have the potential to try and get those autos down and try and make a big late game impact.
Cubby, does this count as a caster curse when I said JDG are going to have to be careful about what ultimates they give in the second half? And they give 2 of the best ultimates that you could give over to a Sylas. Like, does that count? Because, like, I'm shocked that they did that. You go and you swap out your junglers, and then you tell your new jungler, hey man, we're just gonna give this Sylas on the other team like everything that he wants. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. You're the player. Like, I'm so confused, especially a guy who's been playing so well in Tangyuan and, you know, who's been really raising his level. This is a guy that many left for dead and thought that going into this year, that this guy wasn't going to do anything special at all. It was quietly a very good mid laner, probably the best mid laner in Nirvana, and quietly one of the better mid laners here in Ascend. And perhaps not quiet after this one, as LGD looking to make some noise, break the streak, and get a win over JDG. The Gyos outside of Jindong Man are weak. They are feeble outside of him. That's not good. It's not a good look.
So this is a draft where I really feel like LGD can win. And I'm kind of curious if the game plan for Xiaofang's first appearance was like, all right, just get him something that we know he's comfortable with in this Lee Sin. Because the TF pick, while it synergizes well into the Lee Sin, this was picked into a Jax, a Sivir, and a Nefiri showing. 3 champions that all have a way to deal with gold card. And I think that they have a lot of ways to deal with gold card on the side of LGD. I just really feel like JDG forced a draft that, look, I think this draft in a silo as 5 champions can work. I think it's cohesive. I don't have too many issues with it there, but into what LGD has, I'm kind of interested to see if they even can make this work. Is the ability for Sylas to follow a TF, match up some of these plays, and I think we've really seen these Nefiri Sylas combos kind of emerge as if some of the other Nefiri pairings are left out or maybe out of the pool in Fearless. As being, I think Sylas Nefiri, we've really seen this duo be able to brawl in the early mid game and be able to snowball from there.
JDG really need to take control of this game early, Cubby. I'm very worried that if they don't, it'll be bad news for them. Especially this mid matchup can get very interesting. Sylas tends to do well into these champions that are rather squishy, don't have the defensive ways to keep Sylas away. You could just go and get your Kingslayer and start putting in work, but he missed the second chains. No abduct to his abscond, and first blood goes to HongQ.
That was a flip that did not go the way of Sylas. Big wave, level 4, chain of the autos, and...
Gala flashing after. There's another flash from Vampire, and Gala strikes an arrow through the heart of Crisp. JDG coming up aces early, and Shaoye might be in trouble. Charge up that arrow, young man. It's a double kill for Gala. 3-0 JDG.
Without Xiaofang even getting involved, it's just mid win, bot win. Welcome to the team jungler. As now going to go back mid. Tangyuan does have flash, does have a dash, but Xiaofang going to try and get double crab. Does have a lot of help, though, trying to defeat him here.
That's one way to help your new jungler settle in, is start winning in bot and start winning in mid, Cubby.
Solo kill, duo kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the squad.
He gets shoved off the grab here. Take a look at this replay. Man, great stuff from Vampire.
Wow. I mean, the sidestep on the grand entrance from Vampire made Crisp look a little silly there. And as this one went out, I love the clicks from Vampire. He body blocked Xiaoye down. But again, Xiaoye could have walked out. Instead, opted to try and keep the lethal tempo going and just gets bopped back in by Vampire. Xiaoye could have walked out there for free. He chose
had
not
flash
to.
available, too. He could have flashed out of there, too.
I think once, yeah.
He didn't feel like walking.
Yeah.
No, once he gets knocked up, I mean, you just take the L. Right? You just, you hold it, and you call it a day. Now Gala up big. He's going to have a lot more damage as well. I mean, look, Crisp is already taken super low because of that serrated Dirk. Tangyuan still fancies himself a fight against HongQ, but not really going to make too much headway there.
I'm trying to think of what happens with early objectives now that we've had things get a little silly. Because with Poke Vera's bot, you've got to imagine the game plan for Xiaofang is just delete Dragon, like hit level 5, delete Dragon. Make sure bot lane's okay and delete Dragon. Exactly what he's doing right here. But I feel like the Dragon stacking...
Even if they're not okay, HongQ can move because he's got his destiny.
Do you think the Dragon stacking needs to start going down here?
100%. Couldn't agree more. But we have seen these teams forsake these objectives early, and I think that would be a pretty big mistake in this particular game with the team comps that we have, as Burdol is going to go in there, get a plate for himself, hop over Xiaoxu's side of the wall.
All right, so camp's now picked up by Xiaofang. He's going to return to the Dragon and push in for JDG again. I just don't think this can even be thought about being contested by LGD.
Not in the slightest, especially because Burdol just teleported top as well. So he's going to go continue to try to push himself there. Heng is going to go take these chickens, go hit level 6, and now he's going to start making an impact. The ball's in his court. While Xiaofang hasn't done anything, Xiaofang's team has done everything. Tangyuan also has this Destiny available, so there's going to be a timer to look out for. And Heng already walking top.
If I'm playing jungle, and my team says I'm not doing anything, I'm definitely pointing out that I picked up a dragon, if it's 7 minutes into the game.
I mean, yes, that's valid. You know
Sub
what
impact,
I mean.
baby. Yeah. It has been...
He's certainly taken a dragon, but if your claim to fame in a game, obviously we're only 6 minutes in, is I've taken a dragon. You're essentially doing cardio, while the rest of your team has gotten priority.
I missed that phrase. So that's always I always enjoy that one.
What do you mean miss
cardio.
It? Just use it.
Yeah, but it has been in my close to reach action vocabulary of late. Tangyuan just gonna use this to port back to lane. JDG do back off bot just in case, but Gala is safe, steps back up, and Tangyuan. We'll see if I'm really curious to see when and where they want to focus mid. I do think that mid's got to be the look for Nefiri Silas. I would like to see Tangyuan get access to another ult, or have Crisp get access to 6, and they could 3-man it, but you pick the Silas to try and pressure the TF, and the fact that HongQ got a level 4 solo kill does make it a lot harder to try and pressure the TF, but this matchup, if you don't get involved as a team, then I like how TF scales in this matchup a lot. You can control the Silas well later on.
And even right now, he's essentially unmovable with the Catalyst. Catalyst, all right, I'm going to say it. Catalyst, I think, is a little bit too strong. I think that it just makes a lot of these mages unkillable once you've built half of an item.
Oh my goodness.
It makes them so difficult to kill.
A little bit. I think there is a discussion about Roa being strong, but mages are just good right now. I said
Roa is actually fine. I just think the Catalyst.
Oh, you think Catalyst?
The fact that a component gives you that much is a little ridiculous. It's like Lost Chapter before they nerfed it. Well, we have a teleport coming in here on the top side. It is a vampire teleport, so the 4th teleport on the team. As Gala is going to shift up into the mid lane here. Now we have Crisp using a teleport himself. As Xiaofang is going to be able to claim the first grub here, but the walls may be closing in on this JDG squad. Tangyuan does have the Chains of Corruption to steal. Second grub goes down. Knockup is there. Burdol forced to flash over the wall. HongQ's gold card is going to be untargetable by Heng. Burdol tagged. Looks like LGD really want to fight here, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it as JDG will sweep up the grubs and will force away LGD with no action.
Wonder what the look or the idea was to try and find a fight there for LGD. Because with Crisp did not have 6 yet. I do think that's pretty important for the engages for LGD because it's going to give Heng a buddy as he jumps in. Or at least guarantee a buddy. But JDG, I'm looking at this next Dragon, Yanni. I really don't expect things to change. LGD might look for a fight, but I think Dragon going to be in favor of JDG, just with the strength of Varus and the Lee Sin on the bot side should be able to delete these quickly. That said, Dragon, minute 20, so a chance for Xiaofang to look top side, which he does leave a ward behind for Burdol.
I have to ask. I'm a little bit surprised that Tangyuan went in there, got in the face of HongQ. Heng was headed to the bottom quadrant through mid. He could have just tried to go for a look there. They had both of their ultimates. Could have just said, hey, come look mid 1 second here. Let me throw this chains, and if we get him, you should be able to get in range.
Or get a flash. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, then they just didn't go for it. I am a little bit surprised by that. It feels like this LGD team, after quickly getting down 3 kills to nothing, has been the most timid that they've been all series long.
You do have the Sivir that gets going later in the game.
That is true.
I can see, like, scaling's a wee bit goofy this game, just because it's in a lot of different spots. I prefer the scaling of LGD overall. I don't know. TF's going to bring control to the game, but I think the way they can deal with his gold cards and what they can buff up in terms of... Well, I don't know if there's enough damage on JDG to get through LGD later on. That's going to be the big question. Why they need to keep playing this game fast with this poke Varus. So, we'd love to see if Xiaofang can get on this Dragon early, and it does look to be the case right now, as bot prio in the pockets of JDG, and with Shaoye coming out of base, it's going to be enough to make sure the second Dragon of the game is picked up on time.
Do you think it's a little bit of a worry that we haven't really seen HongQ make a Destiny play yet? I know they are getting Dragons. So hold that thought for a moment as an exhaust goes down onto Heng. Vampire takes a bit of a chunk. There's a knockup. We're going to go all in on this play here as Crisp had gotten rooted up. Charging up this arrow, looking to find a shot there. It lands, but doesn't get a kill. Xiaofang with the kick and the kill. And he might be able to hop out. Tangyuan on the backside, but there's 1 of him and 4 of them. And they lock him up under the turret and take him down. It's 2 more for JDG and maybe a little bit more. Stun onto Crisp, and HongQ does have the damage. Stack deck does a lot more than drawing 3 cards as JDG are starting to run away with the game, Cubby.
I thought for a second there that when Tangyuan entered from that TP, it was a good look from LGD. He got the Alistar ult, but then he got fully controlled. The way that JDG were able to kite that one out, and then the way that Vampire shut him down in the back half, it's exactly what the doctor orders. When you end up having a Silas take that Alistar ult, you need to use your displacement tools to get him out. And to be fair, a lot of those tools do exist for JDG this game. So take a second look. Ends up being Vampire and Xiaofang turning. Good ult here from Gala. They lock down Crisp pretty early. They push him out. But again, Tangyuan entering like this. The Abscond Duck does miss. Good flash out. Really good kick by Xiaofang as well, as he didn't take damage from the Fury R, which was critical. And then, again, just controlling the Silas. That Alistar ult ran out. And well played for Xiaofang. Triumph helps him live through that bouncing blade. And JDG syncing up, have a enormous lead for this point of the game at 4.5k gold. And 2 Dragons taken for themselves on time.
Shout out to Vampire. He's put himself in a lot of really good positions to headbutt enemies where he wants them to go. It's always a bit of a tough angle when your opponent's up against the wall, but if you can just slide in there, I know Alistar's a little bit of a big back, but able to slide in there and get that headbutt, it was absolutely perfect. Now they're going to try to chop down the cow, but with that ultimate, that back is as big as ever, he'll be able to just walk out.
I am not sure what Heng wants to do with this next Neferi ult. I would like to see him and Crisp sync up. The only flashless target right now is Xiaofang, or I guess Vampire did just burn his ultimate, so that could be a look. I don't know exactly what he got out of, but yeah, we need to start seeing some action here from LGD. Or at least seeing them buy some space for Xiaoye.
Positive action.
Yeah, because Xiaoye is very far behind Gala right now. And landing into the TF, that's just a turret that's going to go to HongQ over time. Ooh.
Yeah, that's about a good explanation of how the game has gone. A good representation, I should say.
Are you on the team or an advocate for if Syndra misses a cannon, it's -3?
I mean, yeah, it just makes sense. It's like whenever Veigar misses one, I'm a big Veigar player, so you know, whenever Veigar misses one, it's it's minus multiple at that point. So you know, you get -3. It's just insult to injury at that point.
For Nasus now, technically after the patch, it would be -5, which Riot Games might want to be careful about that number. I kind of hate.
Don't get quack started on that one, Cubby.
I kind of hate how mainstream they've made this 5 thing, like everyone piling on. But I also think that everyone just finds it funny that his mom cease and desist is a number.
Yeah.
That is just unironically
so
funny. Yeah.
That is so funny. You see, it's really funny because I thought you were talking about -5 as -5 AD.
Oh, hold on.
I thought for a second as LGD attack the weak side beautifully and make that fight look easy. Herald is going to reset. A little unfortunate for their timer, but they'll still get it done nonetheless.
JDG were split on the approach. LGD split them up on the approach and find 2 for themselves. Good play from Chris.
Beautifully done. And now a lifeline, a pulse for LGD as they've immediately cut the gold lead down. They can leverage this Herald for this Dragon in 1 minute and 20 seconds. They are in great shape, Cubby.
Take another look. That ward. Burdol not spotted yet. Pulling the trigger as a team. And again, Chris, the piggyback, the flash to make sure that Xiaofang can't react. Very, very well done.
But HongQ had to TP bottom. He was going to TP into the fight, elected to go bottom. Didn't really get too much for that TP. And, you know, it's overall very, very good for LG. But they're going to have to put a couple more plays like that together. They are still down 3,000 gold. HongQ is, you know, going to get this Rod of Ages done in a minute. He's going to get that extra level. Also has the Lichbane, so these auto attacks are going to be a lot stronger now too. He is a threat.
Sadly, Tangyuan had to burn the Alistar ult for free. So, 2 Alistar ults grabbed, 0 value found. As again, options for this game for him, they're all so good. You get a global, you get OP Meganar, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, there is an AP ratio on that. Yes, there is an AP ratio.
In one of these fights is that that's always the big difference maker.
Also,
that's usually the ultimate. I see Silas is taking advantage of a lot as we have teleports coming down and Vampire trying to make some plays. The kick does not land. What a spell shield from Shaoye! It was perfect. It was a perfect spell shield.
Oh, it was. I thought he got charmed and couldn't cast it. The spell shield was huge.
Just that good.
That's a big dragon take. I mean, I'd say this gold deficit and being down only 1 dragon for LGD, especially given where things were at earlier, this is okay for them. As again, Sivir will be Sivir that game. I think that she's going to have the time and space to auto attack. And JDG, 2 approaches in a row that just weren't good enough. And 2 better responses from Crisp and LGD.
And if you are a JDG fan, there's a lot of nervous stomachs. Take a look at this replay, Cubby. This is such a good look. You get onto this Neferi. Xiaofang, look at this. It's beautiful.
Oh, good catch, Yanni. I missed that one. Good catch, Yanni. Charm afterwards shuts him down and miraculously saved by LGD, who, again, almost 6K gold deficit early on in this game. We were kind of looking at things being shut down in their face early on. We're now in a world where Sivir is very, not in the game, But I also see a 2-item Sivir, which tells me that Sivir is going to start deleting these waves, buying some time, buying some space for LGD, and this thing at 4 items is a terror. Halfway there, but game state, we like better as time goes on for LGD, given the Sivir, and given the options that Silas has, and given how well the comp for LGD does play into this TF.
Maybe
Everyone's
down
got TF
1,000
answers.
gold, but is certainly not too far behind, right? Just behind Gala. Hasn't really been set that far behind. The CS is, you know, not at 10 CS a minute, but, you know, you're not sitting there down, I don't know, 50 CS or more or anything like that. That's really a big worry if you get to that point in time. So JDG with his 2.5 thousand gold lead. Baron's going to be coming up in about 20 seconds. I can't imagine either of these teams are going to go for it first. And Cubby, it just feels like if Tangyuan can find his way into this game, that could be what puts LGD over the top and gets them in the driver's seat.
No, they can't dive HongQ. He's got too much wave clear. Here, posture. I was like, it's a TF. Wave deleted. As JDG really haven't been out on the map. Like, this is a comp that when you have a poke Varus and you have a TF, you really do delete waves. And the fact that JDG are kind of stuck hovering their turrets right now, I think says a lot about this game. Because this, for me, is one where I think JDG should have a little bit more space, a little bit more real estate in the map than what they do right now, looking at the leaderboard.
Yeah, it feels like they really haven't been able to scratch these inner turrets at all. So we have a teleport coming in. It is an Alistar. As the Herald was used up on the top side, it looks like it's not going to be able to connect onto the turret. You know, this is what happens sometimes when it's about to expire, so no real value out of that. Which is unfortunate to see. Always is a feel bad whenever you get a Herald and can't do it.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to use on the hunt. Scala's spell shield has been popped, but LGD can't get there fast enough, so there's one less ability to get in that you have, as Tangyuan may have gone a little bit too far trying to clear a ward, and everybody on JDG is here, but he's still alive because he took the Alistar ult, and maybe they're going to try to turn this play around. Burdol came in on the teleport. They're going to look for Vampire. He's got the knock up and the knock back, but he's still going to go down. It's Shaoye getting that one.
I want to think that Vampire... I don't know if that was a close cooldown for the hijack getting the pulverized back or not. I want to say it was, but Tangyuan just being able to get the unstoppable, the heals come in. Yeah, heals a lot more effective when you have, what, 50%, 60% damage reduction. Yeah, that feels pretty good. So Tangyuan able to sneak out of there. And again, this game, Tangyuan's level 13 right now. HongQ is almost level 16, as he's going to enter as 15 coming in. I just don't feel like the impact of the TF is super great. Again, everyone on this team for LGD can somewhat deal with the TF. And if TF isn't slowing you down and you aren't able to find these stun combos and pick stuff up like that where you're stunning people for Varus to line up, it's not the same champion. And the fact that LGD, every single champion on LGD has a way to deal with TF, and a lot of get-out-of-jail-free cards, too. Even looking at Crisp's Mikhail's, that's a get-out-of-jail-free card for everyone. This is a setup where JDG are now behind.
There's that call the pack to go untargetable. Cubby, you called this out earlier in this particular game, that as the game progresses, JDG don't necessarily have the damage, and you saw it right there. Comes the Gnar teleport. Wait a minute, we may have found Heng. He's forced to flash away. He is on very low HP. He can go to the Krugs to heal up if he wants. It looks like he's immediately headed right there, as JDG have started up this dragon. He's going to go and be able to finish this one off. Meanwhile, Crisp gets on the backside along with Burdol, as they're looking to really push JDG. Or Tangyuan has Lee Sin kick. Maybe kick somebody out as Vampire is trying to hold the front line, taking a lot of damage here. Just got a duck, doesn't land. HongQ with the gold card lands on the Shaoye, but he doesn't go down. Here comes LGD as they want a piece of JDG. Down goes Varus. Xiaoxu with a good Gnar ultimate, but it will not save him as LGD are flashing forward. It's a double kill for Burdol and a complete win for LGD. Cubby, they flipped the game completely, and they're on the Baron.
You can see the chunks that go into the gold cards, but it's not enough damage to sustain through. And I've seen enough games of this Poke Varus where I really feel like if you make 1 or 2 mistakes in a game with Poke Varus right now, your game's over. Xiaoye is just doing so much damage in these fights because, again, Sivir is enabled to auto-attack in this fight. Look at the time, the space that Xiaoye is going to get bought by the team as... I don't know, oh, the bouncing blades. Yeah, Xiaoye got a lot of damage down. Hextech Dragon was hitting JDG the entire time.
Look at all this, yeah, look at the damage they did to Gala. Poor Gala.
And JDG's not doing anything during this because they're waiting for the cooldowns to get back up. Because they need gold cards and piercing arrows.
That's so brutal, man. That is so disgustingly brutal.
It's partly brutal.
Team just kites back to you.
Yeah. It's partly brutal, partly poor, and I just don't feel like this was a draft that gave JDG a great opportunity to win. Like, the fact that you gave Silas, Gnar, Alistar, and TF, again, everyone on LGD has a way to play into TF. HongQ got a level 3, level 4 solo kill. He's up 2.5k gold. He doesn't feel useful this game.
Gala gets a double kill early. He can't do anything anymore. He's down 800 golds. LGD is up 3,000 golds. This Baron power play is pretty much all of that lead as they continue to push on the bottom side. Not quite fully connected. Heng isn't there yet. Tangyuan is in the mid lane as well. But Heng, we're going to show up on this mid wave here. As what a sad debut for Xiaofang so far after the game was looking so good and this game has slowly slipped out of the hands of JDG.
I mean, who's going to kill Jax this game, sincerely?
All right, we're going all in on Tangyuan here. We have thrown everything at him. We have kicked him into Gala. He is still alive somehow. He will not strike down Gala, but LGD will get what they came for. They take that bot tier 2. They exit fairly quickly. It is worth the life of their mid lane.
No Alistar ult for Silas for the next fight. That should impact the upcoming Dragon, but I already feel like JDG have been outscaled and are out of this game. Like, who kills Jax this game, sincerely?
I mean, it took them that much to try to kill Tangyuan, right? Like,
had Alistar ult, but yeah.
Alistar ultimate, but
yeah.
You know, they had to use a high level of investment to kill him. And I just imagine that, you know, once it's back up to hijack the Alistar ultimate, yeah, like, you can't kill him and Burdol in the same fight. It's just not going to be possible.
And going back to some of what we set up in the pre-show, we do have 90 seconds till the Dragon. I expect the Dragon's going to be contested. I think Crisp is looking for a spellbook. Yeah, he wants Flash for the next fight.
Understandable.
We really set this up. Again, Shaoye, weakest AD carry that we had in the LPL coming into this week, was a much better performance from him and Crisp in the top esports and EDG. I think that this has been the series for me where I've been more impressed with Crisp. The Rel play, we're talking about him being a Pog. I think this for Khan, following up within the Fury, the Silas was A good pick, and B, one that Crisp, we know he plays well and has played very well in this game. So, I know that Crisp was, I think, a hair rusty, or I think a little bit flippy at the start of Split 3, as someone that wasn't playing in Split 2. Good to see Crisp, again, a world champion, step into form here for the LPL.
Exactly what LGD needed, too. They needed a veteran voice that was going to be able to make plays, and while it was a little hairy at first, as you said, really locked it down. It's been pretty good as they're going to try to make a multi-man play on the Burdol. You asked who kills Burdol. The answer is maybe all of the members of JDG, but maybe not as he hops out to safety. They can't kill him.
Can't kill him. Meanwhile, more free gold for the Sivir. Dragon's up in 15, and a lot of tools were burned by JDG, and they're kind of stuck, and Crisp is trying to head him off.
Oh, no. They are on the wrong side of the tracks, Cubby. This is not going to be good for JDG. No spell shield on the Gala. Heng is in the pit. Chris back to his team. Also almost at full HP. JDG have put themselves in a position to be able to escape if they want, but I think they realize that this game might be cooked if they don't go in. Xiaoxu has no Gnar bar at all. Tangyuan
take
on
the
Mega
Gnar.
Spotted out by Xiaoxu. It's exactly what I'm thinking, Cubby, and
Here we go.
He does take the Mega Gnar. Now it's a matter of him linking up with the rest of his team. The Subduct does not land. LGD secure the Baron, and they want this fight. They're looking for HongQ. The flash is onto him. They get on top of him. Xiaofang trying to get in there. Tangyuan now with the rest of his team as they're all linked up.
Xiaoxu's
forced to clench and flash. There he is. There's that Mega Gnar. Burdol's starting to get low. Tangyuan just waiting with the new ultimate over the wall. Slams them all. LGD are going to ace. JDG teleports mid. Cubby, it's been 1,882 days since LGD has defeated JDG. And I think maybe, just maybe, the second longest losing streak in the LPL will be broken.
That Mega Gnar from Tangyuan was sick. It hit both walls. He was on the side of one wall, and it locked people into the second one behind him. As Tangyuan's going to shut the game down in favor of LGD. It was an 0-6 start and a 5K gold deficit, but we kept on talking about the LGD draft, and boy, did it pay off in the end.
Yeah. They got behind. They looked listless. They looked lifeless. They weren't making plays. And then they got one up on that top side. They attacked the weak side of the pincer like you're supposed to. Perfectly done. Next fight, they get one more. And they don't push for more. They take what they got, and they got out. They were able to build rebuild the game from that huge deficit to bring it back, Cubby. Really well played by LGD to just stay within themselves and carefully craft a game plan to get back in.
And honestly, I mean, shout out to the LGD coaching staff, because I think the one coach that we talk about the most in the LPL and on this broadcast is Tabe. And Tabe, trying to maybe find some magic, have a sub, find the draft, get the Lee Sin for Xiaofang. It's his most played. That was a draft diff and a team diff from LGD, because even game one, Yanni, it felt like that game was winnable. It was just Heng getting picked off twice that really changed the game and the shape of it. Where JDG were able to win. It was a very competitive game one. But games 2 and 3, we saw JDG just fall apart on these maps. I mean...
There we go. Throw it up.
Homer Simpson.
Shout out Shadow.
Homer Simpson wishes. This one's for Shadow. I mean, I'm glad that we got the Shadow's face on broadcast. I'm also glad that I saw that. I was like, was that Shadow? And then Elk Battery shared the team that existed in 2021. That team was bad. That's not a good team for LGD.
You looked at the entire team?
The roster was not good, but...
Did he only show LGD's roster?
From back then, yeah, it was only LGD's.
Okay.
It was Shaoye, Mark was in there.
I'm going to pop quiz you. I'm going to pop quiz you.
Okay.
See if you can get it. I have it up right here. Who was the JDG team that they defeated? It was 2021 summer. This was June 20th of 2021.
This would have been... The Golden Road was 22, right? But
believe so.
Was Knight in the team yet, or was Knight on top esports?
No,
I think Knight's on top this split.
Yeah, he was not on the team.
So would it have been?
Narrow it down who the middle
was it?
is.
Hold on. I'm trying to go back in history now. This is fun. I'm gonna go with Kanavi and
Bang.
Yagao.
Bang.
And then that means I don't know who the support would have been. Was it missing already?
It was not missing.
Yeah, missing came in the next year.
Yes.
And they didn't have ruler yet.
God, you're good at this. They did not.
They did not have ruler. So this is where I'm going to get lost. Was it Xiaoxu in the top lane?
It was not.
Okay, he was 22, I think, when he came in. Well, oh, wait, hold on. 369.
It was not 369.
Zoom.
It was Zoom.
It was Zoom. There we go. We got it. It was Zoom.
Immediately after.
Zoom,
Kanavi. Get the bottom lane.
Yagao.
You just got to get the bot lane.
It wasn't Jackie. Who was playing in the... Was it... What? Was it Mark?
Nope.
I'm lost. You're going to have to give me the bot lane.
It was Loken and Lumao.
Yeah, I would not have... I should have gotten Lumao. I would not have gotten Loken.
I thought that you would have gotten Lumao, but that's okay. You got the top side, which was, impressive. And it only took 3 guesses for top lane. That's pretty tough. Yeah, 369 came after.
He came after. Yeah, he came
after.
Because I was thinking the Golden Road team. So it was like,
yeah.
who was a part of the Golden Road team from there. But anyway,
that's excellent stuff out of you. I know you're a league historian. You've got a great memory bank for. Listen, you got a great memory bank for that sort of thing. I know there are some out there that may be better, but
yeah, I wasn't following LPL at the time. I'll take that for not. I obviously I watched the good games back then, so I'll take that for not following LPL at the time. But man, as someone that does follow LPL now, fun win for LGD, and what a week for LGD, Yanni. They beat Top Esports. They beat JDG. They absolutely fisted EDG, and now 4-7. They're in sixth. They're closer to fifth. They're closer to sixth. They're close to fifth. I think they did take down JDG in a fashion that for me was pretty convincing. Because again, even that game one, I feel like they played well in game one. It just didn't go their way. And how Heng and Tangyuan have been playing, and for me, Crisp has really stepped up this week with Shaoye. This is a team that is in better form, and one that I want to see if they can kind of challenge some of the teams above them in the standings, as they just challenged JDG. They did take down Top Esports, but I think it's one thing for this to be a flash in the pan, another thing for them to do this maybe in a playoff bracket or later on in the regular season, or make it consistent as Team WE has. And that's made Team WE to be very fun in this league. But I really like what we're seeing out of Tangyuan and out of Crisp and out of Heng on this team. I think that those three are playing in particularly really well, and they've had good reads in drafts. I didn't mind their drafts today. So I was happy about what I saw from LGD.
Go ahead and take a look at the standings after this game, because Cubby, this does have playoff implications, right? So this gives breathing room to LGD.
Yes.
We talked about what their schedule is going to be like for the final week of the season. BLG, Thunder Talk, Team WE. The BLG game might be a scheduled loss. The other two games are they're gonna certainly be close. That Thunder Talk game is gonna be close, but the Team WE is too. So you're certainly not gonna pencil them in for, an 0-3 week. Obviously things could go really poorly, but you get that breathing room. It's so important to this. This could be what ends up keeping them in that 6th place spot. If they have a particularly good week and JDG has a particularly poor week,
I mean, look, they're at 11.
You can get to 5th.
Well, no, I think they kind of control their own fate here. They're at 11 series played, so they got 3 more series to play next week, right? They can get to 5th, but the big thing is ensuring that they have 6th. They play Thunder Talk next week. They play Thunder Talk next week. So if they win that, that'd create a 2-series gap, and I believe they already have the game score differential over them. So a win versus Thunder Talk, and they're locked in to be in the playoffs. But as you said, getting to that 5th seed could really matter here in the LPL, because I know they just beat Top Esports this week, but do think that fans at home feel like Top AL and BLG have a bit of an edge on the rest of the crowd, with BLG still probably being the team to beat in our region.
Yeah, they're forever going to be the team to beat, it feels like. What's also really important about this
whatever
game,
team Knight's on, I just think is the team to beat.
What's also really important about this game, Cubby, is that this also breaks up the head-to-head that JDG and LGD have. So just in case things go very poorly for the both of them, right? And we're talking like, hey, maybe JDG is like faltering and TT gets super hot that week, because TT has a very winnable week of JDG, LGD, and EDG. Like, this team could go 3-0 that week, right? Now we're talking about some really wacky things happening, and maybe, just maybe, this love break here, essentially, or going to love for a tennis term, will actually make a big deal when it comes to tiebreakers. I'm interested to see if we get to that scenario where all 3 of these teams are knotted up, and we're trying to see who gets that 6th seed and read the tea leaves and everything like that. Because again, as mentioned, you get the extra life. You don't have to go to the play-ins, and then if you get out of the play-ins, you're in the lower bracket automatically. So avoiding that is pretty good. As it turns out, giving yourself 2 chances over 1 is better. Who knew?
A lot of scenarios. I do think that this is one where I just want to keep on seeing better play or better continued play out of LGD, right? Because LGD, this is a team where we group them in with the bottom 3, and it's very clear for me that they are not TT and EDG are going to be our bottom 2 teams. And what we've seen out of LGD this week, they went 3-0. In a fashion that is convincing enough where if they do it again for another week of LPL, this might be a feisty competitor that we have at the playoffs with, you know, maybe Crisp taking the good old Doinby approach of mentoring a team with a lot of young talent on it. I know that Tangyuan's been around for a while. Burdol's been a bit of a journeyman, but mentoring Shaoye a bit as he finds his footing a little bit more in the LPL. Shaoye did look a lot better this week as someone that statistically was the weakest AD that we have in the league coming into the week. So, all right, it is a Crisp pog. Good for Crisp. I really feel like he got the motion going for the squad. That engage around the Rift Herald on the top side and how he was able to follow up with Tangyuan and the Fury. Very good. So, really appreciate what I've seen out of Crisp and LGD this week. Fun to have a 6th place team go 3-0 2 weeks before playoffs, Yanni.
Yeah, it's just upsets the balance of power in the LPL, Cubby. I thought that maybe this week was fool's gold from LGD, but the way they beat EDG had me convinced that they could scrap with the teams at the mid-level of the table. As Crisp got 6 out of 8 votes. Now, Cubby, my question to you:
voted Burdol.
Is this enough? Burdol made some really nice plays in this.
He did.
Game.
I feel like his champion.
That Counter-Strike kicked things off.
It did. I do feel like his champion really helped him this game. I really liked his champion.
Does this player of the game give Crisp the opportunity to win player of the series because of his performance in game 2?
I would say yes, but I think it goes to Tangyuan.
Really?
I'm wrong.
Yeah, there we go. Right. There we go. Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. He was solid in game 1. He was solid, but I mean, this was the Milio. No. I'm talking about Tangyuan. The Milio game a little forgettable, right? But I think that you win an MVP in game 3. You were in contention for MVP in game 2. Certainly gets you.
We thought it was
a
him
player
for game
of
2.
The series. Yeah, exactly. So this is well deserved. He might not have won the battle, but he certainly won the war with the rest of his team for who the best player was this series. And that's really awesome to say. A guy who, came off the couch for this split, a team that we didn't have the highest of expectations for, coming out the mud from Group Nirvana, immediately coming in, making a positive, discernible impact for this team is really all you can ask for out of a swap this late into the year. Really, really awesome.
You know what?
Pickup.
When it comes to Crisp, too, and like getting off the couch, we're going to use a good old Marshawn Lynch quote here, Yanni. When it comes to the NFL, you're going to get got at the highest level. Your goal is to play where you get to get people more than you get got, because you're going to get got,
you get them
right?
before you get got, because everybody gets got.
Yeah, everyone gets got. I feel like Crisp has been much better at finding the gets before he gets got, because it's just been a little bit less flippy as the weeks go on, and I really feel like Crisp played well.
Was sick, by the way.
Yeah, the Gnar ultimate, like into the second wall too, was so nasty from Tangyuan.
And where he's at and where they're at is probably the
Max
last
range.
portion. Yeah, it's probably the last portion where you're able to actually hit them into the wall. And if they were up just a couple of Teemos more, maybe a singular Teemo, that's not a stun, maybe the fight goes a little bit differently, Cubby.
Maybe, but no, I mean, I really feel like that
7 out of 8. Well,
who voted for Burdol for player of the match?
Okay, hold on. He didn't do much in
It's just
game
not
2.
the right answer.
He didn't do much in game 2, but he did a lot in game 1. Game 1.
I don't think Burdol played bad at all. It's just not the right answer. He was a very solid 3 out there on the floor.
I'm trying to justify things. Yeah,
he was a solid third option on the floor.
Sometimes you just got to be the third option, like LeBron James is going to be this year in Philadelphia.
Yeah, absolutely.
He might be the fourth option, actually.
He's definitely not going to. He's definitely not going to be.
That. It's going to be.
His ego's too big. Fantastic. It's going to be option 1 or option 2.
It's going to be fantastic, Cubby. I'm going to be. Slayer and I should say, are going to be insufferable. Cubby, we have Weibo Gaming and IG coming up next, and then Top Esports EDG to round out the night. Any thoughts on these games?
No, I'm kidding. I'm going to take IG.
Right,
IG 2-0, Top Esports 2-0, and hopefully Producer Ice Fire Ride gets a nice rest after a fun 3-game series where LGD were able to take an upset, wrap up a 3-0 week in the penultimate week before playoffs. I think that's really exciting, and it's not like they're beating bad teams. They took down top esports and JDG this week in convincing fashion. So props to LGD. They're convincing me more and more they can be maybe frisky in the bracket. And we're seeing good stuff out of Chris, Heng, and the crew. So fun to see.
They've broken a generational curse, if you call new teams being new generations for these organizations here in the LPL. Cubby, really nice to see out of them. Hopefully more continued success for LGD. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break and swap out the casters as Jay, Beto, and Dia are going to give you Weibo Gaming and IG coming up next.